Hi everyone, this is Nicole. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm going to be sharing my first impression and quick review on different color pencils. If you followed me for a little bit on my Instagram, I have been playing with different brands of color pencils and promise I will do a review today. So I'm today going to review Spectrum Noir, Prismacolor, and Faber-Castell. Before we start, I want to quickly let you know that I am not being paid by a company. I have purchased all of the products that I'm showing today with my own money, and I'm sharing that with you so that you can get some basic information and my thoughts. Also, I am not in a professional painter or artist. This is a opinion coming from a card maker and a stamper. So I hope you understand that before we going into this video. So today, like I said, I'm going to be showing you a Prismacolor Premier color pencils, Spectrum Noir blendable pencils, and Faber-Castell Polychromos. They're all different brands and they're all different properties a little bit. So I'm going to show you just a basics of things that you should know before purchasing these things. So Premier color pencils are really well known, and I got 48 color sets. They have all different sets, which I will link all of them below so you can check them out, but they all come in kits like that. And also Spectrum Noir have 24 colors per set. They have 5 different sets that you can take advantage of. They have essential, they have nature, they have floral, they have primaries, and also they have marines. These are the color families that you can choose from, and they have all 24 colors. Essentials are combining all the colors that you probably need, including the primary colors and white and black. So these are what it looks like, and I will show you more close up later in this video when I do review for each of them. Last, I'm going to show you a Faber-Castell. This is Polychromos, and I have 36 set or 36 color set, and you will see they have very vibrant colors and come in a tin case like this as well. So they all come in a tin case, so it's pretty storage friendly. And I'm going to show you one by one and talk about a little bit of difference. I've done a lot of research and hopefully I can give you some good basic information for you to know. So the left one is Spectrum Noir, the middle one is Prismacolor Premier Pencil, and all the way to the right one is Faber-Castell Polychromos. Spectrum Noir and Prismacolor Premier pencils are both wax based, and Faber-Castell Polychromos are oil based. So you will know that there's a big difference right there, and you will see the major difference when I do some coloring. Spectrum Noir comes in a set and you cannot purchase them individually, meaning they're not open stock. However, Prismacolor and Faber-Castell ones are available open stock, which means you can buy them as a set. As you go through them, if you miss a color, you can purchase them separately, individually. So that's one perk for going with Prismacolor and Faber-Castell. At this point, I'm not sure if Spectrum Noir will be doing open stock, but you never know what they might change later on. I've done some pricing research and there are some different prices depending on where you're getting them, but for 24 sets, you get about $5 to $10 difference depending on the bread. Faber-Castell is the highest price on the market. Prisma and Spectrum Noirs are pretty close depending on where you're getting it. At first impression, when you first lay down the color, Spectrum Noir feels a little dry, meaning when you lay down the colors, you will see that you'll hear that a lot of pencil squeaky sound when you lay down the colors, when the friction sound, right, when you touch the paper with the color. But it's not that dry where it's really hard for you to lay down the colors. So that's something to keep in mind. Prisma colors are really soft. It goes on like a butter. It feels smooth when you lay down the colors. You still hear that friction sound, but not as bad as the Spectrum Noir. Faber-Castell also goes on really smooth and you don't hear as much as that friction sound of the paper and the color pencil. So I tried to pick up a similar color shade all of them come in a different color range, and especially Faber Castell tends to be more brighter and bolder or darker, I think, in bold colors. So just keep that in mind. I will try to share very similar colors that I can choose from the set, and they all come in a different range of sets, so you cannot really pinpoint exact colors unless you have all of them in all colors. So I'm going to show you in more close-up video over here. First, we will look at Spectrum Noir. The Spectrum Noir is really good for beginners, in my opinion, because when you open up the set, you will notice there are 3 shades per color range, which means that you don't have to worry about blending lightest and darker colors all together. All you have to do is pick up 3 different colors, or I mean 3 different shades from that color, and lay down the lightest, medium to darkest. So if you're new to coloring, if you're new to color pencils, this would be a great beginner set to try. I highly recommend that you choose essentials and then move on to pick out the most color families that you would do. For example, if you do a lot of flower coloring, you can totally pick out florals or primaries. If you do a lot of bluish tones, choose marine. So you can always add more colors as you go. So over here, I'm going to lay down 3 different shades. I'm actually doing light mint, teal color, and light blue colors. And I'm going to show you how they blend together. First, you can lay down the colors, you can go over them. However, this is wax based, meaning when you lay down colors more and more, when you add layers on top of layers, you will get that shiny and you will feel that there's no more color adding in. That's because it's wax based and you get wax blooms when you lay on a lot of colors. So keep that in mind. They all come with a white blending tool. As you see, you saw me doing the white blending tool. That's another way to blend them. And when you lay down the white blending tool, you will notice that the color gets a little bit muted and you get that thin white coat on top of it, blending them, also giving them a little bit of pink look. Another great way to blend them is to use Gamsol. This is my favorite way to use, and I use Ranger's cut and dry nips as my Gamsol tool, and there's like 12, I think there's 10 in a pack, so I just use one per each color family. And this is a great way for you to blend in the colors together, and you will notice that the colors goes on very smooth and they end up blending really. We're going to look at Prismacolors. This is a very soft core centered pencil colors, so you can notice that when you lay down the colors, it goes on really smooth and you don't have to put too much pressure. And actually, I've read that if you put too much pressure, you can end up breaking the pencils itself. And there's various method of doing, like, putting them in a microwave if the center of the pencil is broken when you first get it or while you're using it. So there's multiple ways that you can research it. I'm not going to go into deep discussion about it, but this is really soft, so you don't have to put too much pressure. And you will notice if you use Spectrum Noir and Prismacolors that you will notice there's a little bit different feeling when you put down the colors. This is also wax based, meaning I've noticed that when I layer a lot of colors on top of each other, it kind of slides around. So you also get the wax bloom. So I don't think you can add limit unlimited layers of colors to get all that, because you end up getting all that squiggly wax bloom. So there's a little bit of limitation to it, but when you lay down the white pencil, which is another blendable pencil that's in Prismacolor set, you will also notice that you can have that blending reaction and faded look, and also have that little bit of ombre white layer on top of it. You can also use Gamsol like I'm doing over here, and you will see that the different blending results between the white blending tool on the left and also the Gamsol. And I am going to actually put my fingers across and rub it to see how much pigment you get right after you get color. The first one on the top is Spectrum Noir. The second one on the bottom is a Prismacolor, and I will show you also in Faber Castell later on. But you will get some pigment if you rub your fingers right off of it after you use them on the surface. Prismacolor have their own sharpeners, and some people like it, some people don't. I have no trouble with it. Prismacolors have a soft center, so it goes down, the pencils get shortened really quickly. Compared to Spectrum Noir and Faber-Castell, I tend to sharpen the Prismacolor one more often. So you just simply use it and then twist it nicely so you don't break the cores. But you can use any pencils, sharpeners that you have. Some people love electronic ones as well. Okay, now we're going to look at Faber-Castell Polychromos. This one is the thickest compared to the other two. So you will notice when you hold that pencil in your hand, you will feel that little bit of thick pencil body. And when you lay down the colors, it goes on really smooth, just like Prismacolor. I think Prismacolor is the softest and goes on really, really, really smooth. Faber-Castell goes on smooth. I think it follows the Prismacolor one as well. It's not as buttery in my opinion, but it is still buttery. So you have no problem blending the colors together and laying down multiple layers. And because this is oil based, for me, it's really easy for me to layer multiple colors on top of each other and you don't get that squiggly line of wax blooms that you get from the wax-based one. I will also layer the white pencil from Faber-Castell, the blendable pencil one, and on top of each other to see how well it blends. They blend pretty well, and I will show you in comparison over here. I'm not sure if the video will catch all together, but you will notice that Spectrum Noir and Prismacolor Premier pencils shine the most, and Faber-Castell doesn't shine as much. So I think that's because they're both wax-based and Faber-Castell is not wax-based. I will also show you how they blend on Gamsol. They blend really nicely. You will notice they go really smooth. You will get a lot of pigment, so you can blend back and forth and move the colors around, and you get a really great results. I will show you more in comparison, but Faber-Castell has a lot of pigment as well. So when you swipe it with your finger, you will get some pigment right after you lay down the colors and blend it, and also use Gamsol on top of it. This is their pencil sharpener. I usually use the smallest one, and I use this one to sharpen my Spectrum Noir. But since the Faber-Castell one is the thickest and it has more pigment on it, I tend to use less sharpening tools to it. Prismacolor gets sharpened the most, and Spectrum Noir after that, and then Faber-Castell. Okay, so I've done some coloring beforehand. I wanted to show you how it looks like. This is Spectrum Noir on the very left, Prismacolor on the middle, and also Faber-Castell on the right. On the very bottom, the biggest flowers have all white pencils laid on top of each other to show you that blended look. As you will notice that Faber-Castell is really, really bright. Okay, now you will notice that the left one is regular pencil and the right one is a Gamsol. You will notice some shine is diminished when you use a Gamsol, and also you will notice that the colors gets a little bit softened. Same for the Prismacolor. You don't get as much shine when you use a Gamsol, and the colors get softer. Over here, you will notice the big difference between the Faber-Castell one regular pencil and the one with Gamsol. The Gamsol one gets really, really muted, and you don't get much shine at all. So that's something to think about when you use Gamsol or when you don't use Gamsol. Now, I tested the colors on a dark paper. The left one is Spectrum Noir, middle one is Prismacolor, and the right one is Faber-Castell. You will notice the Spectrum Color gets the most shine, Prismacolor doesn't get as much shine, and Faber-Castell gets the least amount of shine. The top rows are the pencil, the bottom rows are regular Gamsol. You will notice that the Spectrum Noir has a lot of transparency, so you will see a lot of dark colors behind the penciled, and also Prismacolor is really opaque, same as Faber-Castell. And Faber-Castell ones tends to be more bright in my opinion. All right, so I laid down another layers of colors onto the white paper and I set it aside for a few minutes. And you will notice that on Prismacolor and Faber-Castell one, you will still be able to get pigment moved around when you swipe your fingers on top of it. But Spectrum Noir doesn't get pigment moved around when it's all set and dry for a little bit. It's not like they're wet, but you will notice that if you let that dry for a little bit and set it aside, you will notice the pigment are not moved as much as Prisma one and Faber-Castell one. So I know this was a really quick review and short review, but I wanted to share my basic thoughts about each of the color lines. I recommend all of them and they are great for depending on what you're using. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe button. And I hopefully you can find the ones that fits your crafting needs the most. I will link everything that I used below. Also, I will use different sets for different brands, so you can check out all of the different number of sets that you can get, so you can pick out the ones and try them out. I hope you go to my website as well. I will post all of my pictures that I share today's results so that you can see them on a close-up photos. That video didn't do the good justice about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.